Welcome. This is WYCE's Community Closeup, our weekly public affairs program, produced in partnership with the Grand Rapids Community Media Center. Community Closeup is all about bringing you diverse perspectives from community leaders throughout West Michigan, a great community that I think most of us live and work in. This is WYCE Station Manager Phil Tower. It is a pleasure to welcome to this episode of WYCE's Community Closeup, Dr. Anissa Eddy. She is Director of Foundation-Led Initiatives with the Steelcase Foundation, and Shirley, a family leader participating as well in the Steelcase Foundation's investment in families initiative. It's great to have you both here on the program. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Anissa. There's a lot to unpack here, but I'm up for the challenge in this 15-minute conversation. I've read a lot about why this is important, but I want to start with you, Dr. Eddy. You've written that Michigan's future really, you're rolling all the dice on the family. The family is super important. Can you talk about why this Invest in Families initiative is so important for the Steelcase Foundation?
Absolutely. Well, thank you, first of all, so much for having us. But yeah, when we think about how states, how communities, how neighborhoods thrive, it really is all about the family. The family, they're the employers and the employees. They are the teachers and the students in communities. They're the ones that are really having that vested interest. And if families are not flourishing, then it's hard for communities to flourish.
So it's 2026. If you were to give a grade to our community in terms of the state of families, I know that's a tough question. How would you grade us right now?
Let's see. Maybe not a letter grade, but I maybe would say making progress.
Okay. I love that.
Yes.
There's a lot of room for improvement. And of course there always is. And it's such a fundamental thing, but it's so easy to overlook with all of the other things, especially policies and private and public partnerships. It's easy to forget it all starts at the family. The Steelcase Foundation's Investment in Families initiative also has a formal partnership, if you will, with ICCF Community Homes. Can you talk about that partnership and how it came to be?
Definitely. So the Steelcase Foundation is very focused on supporting whole child, whole family well-being, and they partner with many different organizations and community members to do this work. And so Investment in Families is specifically a 10-year participatory research project, and it's hosted by ICCF Community Homes. And this partnership is really key because not only do we have space there where we can gather the cohort of 30 family leaders, all Black and Latina mothers participating in this initiative, but it also is such a great connection to resources, whether it be housing, transportation, anything that families need to be able to be connected right in ICCF. It's just been a really ideal partnership.
One thing that is unique is that this initiative wasn't designed for families. You actually went right to the families and spoke with them and really used them as the model for this program. Shirley, can you talk about that and why the family was important in this process?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a mom of 3 and a recent graduate of the Wayfinder program at Calvin University. And this program allowed me to now be a licensed substance use counselor at Journeys, Inc. In
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And I'm also a member of the Investment in Families Initiative's Narrative Advisory Group. The initiative didn't just provide financial support, it created breathing room. And that breathing room allowed me to invest in my education, to be more present with my children, and pursue a career that serves the community.
Can I ask you how you found out about the initiative? Was that through Calvin?
Nope. It was through the Women's Resource Center.
Great. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love how you're talking about margin, that space. That's a hard commodity. You can't buy that. You can't go to Meijer and buy margin and space. Mm-mm. It's a really tough thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think what Shirley just said really speaks to the the value of having this be a participatory project because it was designed with family leaders to learn with them rather than study them. That's how we knew so much that the breathing room aspect was absolutely critical. Sometimes I think there is a focus on just giving families information or workshops or things like that, but really just listening to them and hearing how systems are or are not supporting them is such a great place to start when trying to really elevate and support whole family well-being.
Yeah, that's Dr. Anissa Eddy. She is director of the foundation-led initiatives at the Steelcase Foundation. And we also have with us Shirley, a real family leader at the Steelcase Foundation's Investment in Families initiative. So we're having this conversation mid-2026. I can't believe the year's already more than
it's
half
July.
over. I know, it's crazy. What do you want the community to know about this initiative? And how can they help? This has to be collaborative. Everybody has to take this seriously. I'll let you both answer this. I'm going to start with you, Anissa.
Yeah, so I think one of the really important things that we want people to know is while this is an initiative that has a 10-year commitment to partnering with 30 specific family leaders in Kent County, the learning will have a much broader impact. Yes, these particular families should experience increased well-being, but what they're helping us learn should influence systems that will increase well-being for all families. So I think that's important for the community to know. And there are lots of ways to partner. Getting in touch with us, not only ways to support this cohort and the learning, but we're also really wanting to share the learning so that other communities in this area or even across the state and beyond might want to replicate some of the pieces that are working well.
Shirley, you have a captive radio audience, a lot of people who may not understand how important families are and families as a teaching tool. What would you say to them?
Families are the cells that make the ecosystem.
That is beautiful. Yeah.
If you have a dysfunctional cell, it's going to affect the ecosystem. We are the roots. We are the roots, and we need to pay attention to the health and well-being of our ecosystem.
Absolutely.
And every single part of it, cellularly, molecularly, atomically.
I like that. And I'm struck by the fact, first of all, we want to celebrate and lift up Steelcase Foundation for taking this so seriously. But there are a lot of other companies that just hire someone, come in, you do the work, we'll give you your paycheck, and company loyalty in 2026 isn't necessarily a thing. How can companies take families more seriously?
Well, I think we are starting to see more focus because when you think about companies and you think about even the economy and that stability, we have to have a workforce that is healthy, that is also reliable and able to contribute. And so when you think about what families need, such as access to healthcare, access to transportation, affordable childcare, when you are supporting families with those things, you are also supporting their capacity to contribute to the fullest extent with their employers. So I would just encourage employers to really be thinking about how they're individually contributing, looking at their own policies, because it actually is a win-win. It's a win for their business, for their profits, and also the broader community and economy.
Yeah, and families are facing stress at all kinds of levels. You mentioned affordable housing. We've got gas over $4 a gallon, affordable transportation, accessible mass transportation. Shirley, kind of give us a picture of where you're talking to families, where you are hearing from them that they're struggling. Maybe some places that I didn't even mention.
I think it's it's consistency. It's consistency and stability. Because for the most part, everybody's in survival mode. They're just, checking off the high priority box at the moment. And, not only does that impact, the family, but it also does something to the children. It does something to the person's nervous system. It's just, living in survival mode is, it creates this ripple effect. And it doesn't just impact that individual person, but it also impacts everybody that it touches. And this is what's happening in families right now, is everybody's in survival mode. And that ripple effect is bleeding into society.
Yeah. And you need to continue to spread the word about this, because I think a lot of people don't understand that, or they're too busy to stop and understand that. I don't want to run out of time. We're speaking, that was, by the way, Shirley, a real family leader in the Steelcase Foundation's Investment in Families Initiative. We're also with Dr. Anissa Eddy, Director of the Foundation-led Initiatives with the Steelcase Foundation. Let's look down the road. This is a long-term effort, the Investments in Families Initiative. What are some of the changes you are hoping to see and push forward over the next, let's go short term, 1 to 3 years?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we're in year 2 of 10. And so I think things are quite settled now. We are learning with families, the family leaders, through surveys that they take every year. Also the powerful data of the stories they have, the expertise that they have in their lived experience. And so we're taking all of that to really elevate what are the systems that have the biggest opportunity to impact the well-being of families in their daily lives in ways they can feel, and how can we make that happen? So we're partnering with others to elevate the learnings that we're getting from this initiative, and really thinking about some policy campaigns. We have a meeting coming up next week where we're going to identify our top 3 things to focus on for the next 12 to 18 months. And this can be at the institutional level of an organization, the state level when we're thinking about, say, our Department of Health and Human Services, and even federally when we're looking at healthcare and we're looking at access to food. So we want to see the small changes and the big changes, because they all add up to supporting family well-being.
How can we help you? The person on the other end of the radio, how can WYCE help you? I mean, we want to support this. I'm hearing you talk about these families. I wonder, Shirley and Anissa, do you think these families feel like they're being heard?
No.
No. I mean, where's their lobby in Lansing? You know, where is their big political action committee in Washington, D.C., right? You know?
Right. So they're not being heard. I don't think that they feel seen. And then also, I don't think they have the capacity to even start to share.
Yeah.
Like vocalize what's really going on, because they're in survival mode. So to put language to all of those unacknowledged feelings and unconscious, subconscious shadow stuff, it's hard. It's hard. So there has to be someone that can advocate and shine a light into their world. Not speak for them, but maybe just help them along the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
To show them what those words are. I'm not sure how to.
Well, and Shirley, I think you're just such an excellent example of that as a family leader, because one of the things that you have experienced in this initiative that I've seen is the power of your own voice. Shirley just wrote an incredible op-ed, so things like that can just help the stories to be elevated even further, and just recognizing the more that we can organize families to speak for themselves, but also have other sectors and constituencies recognizing that partnering with families and elevating what they need is also good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. If it wasn't for this cohort, I wouldn't be speaking.
Yeah.
I have this family behind me, and they have given me this inspiration and motivation to even just share and use my voice. You know, I've got a powerful group of men and women behind me that are just like, you can use your voice, And here's a way that you can do it. And here's a way that maybe we're not going to use it, but.
And Shirley, you know what? You're really good at it.
Thanks.
You're really good at it.
Yeah, no, thank them.
You guys are kind of good together. You could take this show on the road for all I care. You should. And, you know, who knows? Maybe there's a podcast. Real quickly, is there anything you didn't share. I didn't ask you. You wanted to share with our listeners
Well,
before
circling
we
back
wrap
to your
up?
question quickly about how people can support,
Yeah.
I think following Investment in Families, the initiative, we have that on our website. We're constantly going to be sharing our updates, our impact reports, and what we're learning in ways that other people can also apply, and just recognizing the need for breathing room, that bandwidth, because that's really what families need to be able to get out of survival mode and do what they're naturally designed to do, the very
Yeah.
best thing for their families.
You guys on social media as well?
Yes, we are on social media, so that would be a great thing to follow, and signing up for the Steelcase newsletter, because we want the impact to go beyond this 30, and I know that that's very important to every family leader, that they are committed to that as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for
This may
having
be
us.
one of the most important programs we've done since the inception of this program. So there's going to be a part 2, you guys.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah, right
Yes.
there.
Here for it.
We got the fist bump. Let's do the three-way
All
fist
right.
bump right now.
Yes.
All right, we just and we're doing that on GRTV and on YouTube. So there. And for those of you on radio, it was really cool. Okay, Dr. Anissa Eddy is director of foundation-led initiatives with the Steelcase Foundation, and Shirley Ariel, family leader in the Steelcase Foundation's investment in families initiatives. Two people that are really doing some great work, and we're so glad they could join us on Community Closeup here on WYCE. Thank you so much for listening. It's our weekly public affairs program produced in these studios at GRTV at the Grand Rapids Community Media Center. I'm station manager Phil Tower. We'll see you next week.